Hi, this is Scott Wheeler. I'm back today with another video in a series that I want to start where I show you and read to you letters of support that I've received from organizations, from county commissions, Mayor of Fargo, and so forth. Former Congressman from Minnesota, Colin Peterson, who used to be the chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, to show you that not just that I'm interested in honoring Lawrence Welk and know who he is and have good opinions of the show and so forth, but that a number of elected officials have been willing to approve something to contribute to my efforts, that organizations have done the same. And not only that I can say that, but I can show you evidence of it. So I'm going to read you I appreciate all the support I've gotten, but because of my family's farming background and their Midwestern background on my father's side, I especially cherish this letter I'm going to read to you from the North Dakota Farmers Union, because Lawrence Welk was the son of North Dakota farmers. And as I say, I'm honored to be able to have a group connected with a number of the people who help feed Americans on board with the symbolism of it. So here's the letter dated February 28th, 2025. And I'll read it to you. But before I do that, I just want to say I just recently found out that the president who signed off on this letter, Mark Watney, is retiring this year. He's not running for re-election as president of the NDFU. And I just want to say that on a personal note, because you helped me with this, not only am I thankful for that help, but I will miss you being there. And I appreciate all the good things that you contributed in your 12 years as president. And so having said that, let's get to this. To whom it may concern, I am writing on behalf of North Dakota Farmers Union, NDFU, the state's largest general farm organization representing more than 70,000 farm, ranch, and member families. NDFU is supportive of your efforts towards celebrating and better recognizing Lawrence Welk and Myron Floren. Mr. Welk is the son of farmers from Strasburg, North Dakota, a 1961 inductee of North Dakota's Hall of Fame, and 1965 recipient of an honorary degree from North Dakota State University in Minot, North Dakota. The Scandinavian American Hall of Fame, connected with North Coast Fest, has inducted at least 4 people from the Lawrence Welk Show: Myron Floren, Lynn Anderson, Tom Netherton, and Norma Zimmer. The Lawrence Welk Show has a following in rural America and could be said to be a family-friendly contribution to American rural culture, while also including other genres/performances. Myron Floren, an accordionist and a prominent part of the Lawrence Welk Show, was the son of South Dakota farmers and before performing with Welk, part of the USO. Their love of music was born and developed while on the farm with help and support from family members. I'm reading a little too fast. Welk's mother was supportive, and his father paid for an expensive accordion in exchange for Lawrence working 3 years on the farm and giving him the money he made. Myron's dad bought him a squeeze box. Squeeze box, I'm making a side note here, is a type of musical instrument. If I remember correctly, it's similar to or a type of an accordion. In case a viewer doesn't know what that is and thinks I'm talking about like a Juicy juice box, I'm speaking of a musical instrument. So now I'll go back to the letter. North Dakota Farmers Union strives to honor and fight for North Dakota farmers and their families, communities, and achievements. Lawrence Welk is an exemplification of some of a farmer's best traits: hard work, patriotism, family, perseverance, careful use of resources, and clean living. We are happy to offer our support for your efforts to honor Lawrence Welk and commemorate the 70th anniversary of the Lawrence Welk Show here in North Dakota and nationwide. Sincerely, North Dakota Farmers Union, Mark Watney, President. And so there you go. One of my favorite letters, one of the jewels in the crown, if you like. North Dakota Farmers Union, because of that agricultural connection that, as I said, that my family has had from the Midwest, and Lawrence Welk's family having had rural agricultural background, bringing it together here in this letter. I treasure it. So thank you to the NDFU for this. And I'm going to continue reading some of my other letters. But before I do that, I'm going to make a note to state that if you notice a number of the letters I read going forward sound similar, that's because I've tried to provide a draft letter of support, a draft proclamation text, depending on what they're comfortable approving in the county commission level or the mayor's office, or whoever I reach out to, or whatever might be most relevant to them. I try to make it flexible because some county commissions seemed to decide either on their own or after I contacted them to either approve a resolution, a letter of support, or a proclamation. So they didn't all use the exact same text. They didn't all use the same words. They didn't all just do a letter of support or just a proclamation. You'll see some variety, but you'll also see a lot of similarity in language. So that's why. But let me see. Oh, yeah. I wanted to say that if I remember correctly, it was when I was reaching out to the North Dakota Farmers Union that I actually had the idea while I was in the process of doing so to request a letter of support. When I was early in this project, I'm still open to a wider variety than just, symbolic gestures. I'm open to other avenues as well, but I don't know that I had crystallized as clearly yet what I was going to focus on in terms of instead of just calling places and saying, well, I'm open to whatever you're open to doing, or I'm open to a letter of support, or if you would, I didn't really ask for money at any point. This isn't about me collecting money. I don't have like a PO box for you to send a donation to, because I'm trying to see how close to free of charge we can get all this, because the idea is honoring the show, Lawrence Welk, Myron Floren, different people have been on the show. It's not about like a get rich quick scheme type thing, like, oh yeah, give me $1 million to promote him. No, I'm happy to do it for free. So, but I'm concerned that some people that, since I'm just a regular guy, they might be like, who's this guy coming out of nowhere asking us to help him? Is this some scam? Is he trying to get money out of us? And, maybe in the future, if I keep doing this kind of stuff, people feel comfortable enough on their own to feel comfortable with that. But that's not really what I'm trying to do. And so to make sure people don't get confused or misunderstand or anything like that, I just want to keep it as close to free as possible. Try to keep money as far out of this as possible. And so when I was in touch with the NDFU, I decided I'm just going to ask them for a letter of support. Let's see what happens with that. And that's what I got. And so I thought that was a good model to use when I reached out to lawmakers and others in the state, in North Dakota and elsewhere. And I guess I'll take a moment while I'm thinking about it to say that, excuse me, I like the idea of thinking big, and I also like the idea of thinking small, grassroots, and going from the grassroots up. And so I laid out in another video today part of my strategy of going both wide and deep in my method. But I also like the idea of giving people options, because I feel like if you can give flexibility, it's easier for people to be open to helping you than if you only give them one option. And there's no room for compromise, no room for negotiation. I don't want to compromise principles in doing this, obviously. As long as you can compromise without selling out principles, then I'm for it. Because in the end, I'd rather get something than nothing to help me with this and have as broad of a coalition as possible. And so, as I said before, I started the overwhelming majority of my efforts, but not all of it, in Mr. Welk's home state of North Dakota. But one of the beautiful things about technology is I'm able to merge my interest in what some might call an old-fashioned TV show, a show hosted by a senior citizen, everything like that. I'm able to connect the past, what I think are some good things from the past, with our modern technological advantages, where I haven't had to spend a penny to make all this progress with the help of those that have joined forces with me, of course. For example, when I've contacted county commissions that have approved something, I've been able to do it through phone. I've been able to do it through Zoom, through Teams, things like that, phone calls even. Sometimes certain commissions will just put me on speakerphone via phone. And so I haven't had to buy a plane ticket or a train ticket and be up there on the ground. Now, would I love to do that? Of course. I'd be happy to attend these meetings in person. I'd be happy as a tourist also to see these different communities. And I do hope in the near future, whether it's in this year, 2025 and 2026 or some other time in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later, but whenever, I do want to personally, and with my family, my parents and so forth, I'd like to take in the North Dakota experience myself personally, with my eyes, with my ears, taking pictures, creating memories. And so I already am creating memories here from Florida, from my home, reaching out from home to these different people and places. But it'd be great to combine that with the concrete on the ground experiences as well. And so I do want to do that in the future. But I'll say this, I've had a lot of great first impressions from North Dakota so far in doing this. It's helped to deepen my interest in the state and its people, and my respect for it and appreciation. And either today or in the near future, I want to make a video where I read what, I hope this doesn't come across as over the top, but I had the inspiration recently to come up with a tribute to North Dakota that I actually wrote, and I emailed it to somebody. And I'd like to share that on this channel as well. And I think it's relevant because it's Mr. Welk's home state, and there's nothing I believe offensive about the contents. But thank you for watching. Please click the like button if you like this video. Please click subscribe to Lawrence Welk Tributes if you're not yet subscribed to this channel. So in the event that we make more videos, you'll see them. You'll be able to be one of the first to know, and leave comments. The email address related to this is the 70th anniversary @gmail.com. Be happy to get your comments, your suggestions there, your personal memories of Mr. Welk, the show, and so forth. And if you have ideas of who to reach out to that either was on the show, knows somebody on the show related to somebody from there, has interviewed these people, anybody relevant that could be useful to my project and helping me to grow what I want to call my base of support, and perhaps the key deep base, the core base within it, the inner circle, if you like. But I'd appreciate the public's help with that, whether you're sharing it publicly here on YouTube or privately through email. Thank you for watching. Take care and stay tuned. I intend to make some more videos today in this shirt. So if you come on the channel and say you see 10 videos and I'm all wearing the same shirt, if they're all next to each other, it's probably from the same day. I also like this shirt, and I've worn it in at least one or two of my North Dakota interviews. And so I do have other outfits, and you'll probably see me wearing other shirts in the future, but I do like this one, and I think it's a good way to start making these videos is to wear this one. And it's also one of my favorite colors. Blue along with green are my favorite colors. Thank you for watching. Take care.